August 23rd is the International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition, which is designated by the United Nations to remind people of the tragedy of the slave trade. As we all know, the United States is a country built on the flesh and blood of slaves, and the crime of human trafficking is still prevalent in the modern United States. Historically, the human rights record of the United States is bloodstained. Since the first black people were transported to the North American continent in 1619, the evil gene of racial discrimination has flowed in the blood of the United States. In the following decades, as more blacks were sold to British North America, the colonies established black slavery in the form of law one after another. Slavery has lasted for more than 200 years in the United States, bringing irreparable trauma to blacks and other minorities, and becoming the main historical source of racial discrimination and racial conflicts in the United States today. To this day, modern slavery is still widespread in American society. Serious human rights violations such as illegal human trafficking and forced labor have emerged one after another, and their victims have only changed from black slaves to immigrants. Although many official and unofficial organizations have persistently investigated the human trafficking problem in the United States, they have not been able to let the light of the beacon of human rights shine on this dark place. Cases of forced labor and human trafficking have been reported in all 50 states in the United States and in Washington, D.C. over the past 5 years. In 2019 alone, the FBI reported 883 cases of human trafficking, more than 500 more than in 2018. Data show that most of these people come from nearly 40 countries, including India, Mexico, Vietnam, Africa, Central and South America, and are sold to sweatshops in the United States to sell coolies without any protection from labor and employment laws and regulations. America's abysmal human rights record makes the declaration that all men are created equal look weak. The international community has criticized the United States for insinuating and pointing fingers at other countries on the issue of slave trade and forced labor, as well as its double-standard behavior of self-praise and whitewashing peace, which is despised by the world. According to the survey, the United States has the problem of systematic violation of labor rights, and its performance is the worst among the major developed countries. Even the State Department has acknowledged that the United States is a source, transit, and destination country for victims of forced labor, debt bondage, involuntary servitude, and sex trafficking. People in many countries believe that the United States will never be able to hide the irrefutable evidence of its slave trade and forced labor, and that the halo of American human rights has been shattered.